Welcome. We are visiting the values of the Constitution of India. Central focus is upon the preamble of the Constitution. And when we have been through these values at number of sessions, and when we feel that its keywords are giving us good feelings of these values, then now let us today have a comprehensive view. The values flow here in the Constitution as indexed in the preamble gives us that this values range has its flow from we to I, means we, the people of India, adopted and given to ourselves, preserving the rights of individual citizens. So, when we will be imbibing these values, we shall be face to face with as that the flow here is conceived as coming from we, collectiveness together, to I, individuals. How the collective wisdom is to be for individuals' nourishment, individuals' growth, individuals' happiness is the way one can look at this document. The Constitution of India is a document of collective wisdom. And this collective wisdom aims to provide the maximum what could be provided institutionally to each and every individual. So, from society to individual is the way one is to follow these values. And likewise, when we will be going to the substantive provisions, there we will be face to face with as that along with the fundamental rights, there are fundamental duties as well. So this flow, when is to be chased from we to I, the same also is to be chased in its back orientation as to how from individual to the nation is going to be the reach under the arrangement of this Constitution. Now, when we will be following this values flow of the Constitution from we to I and back, then we will realize that our this journey, our this pilgrimage confronts us with they amongst us and he amongst them. So the values river which flows from we to I and back, in between, it creates a situation that I is confronted with he and we with they. It is this internal split, internal spectrum, internal organization, internal groupings, and individuals as well getting different designations, and many times instead of moving parallel, they become adversaries. How this situation is to be met, how this situation is to be lived, and how this constitution has visualized it and accordingly had its constitutional apparatus. All these are the aspects, and all these are the situations which are to be visualized while one is to appreciate the values of the Constitution, and when one shall be deciding as to how one is to flow parallel with this values flow organization of our Constitution. It is here where we have to be introspective in the light of the ancient wisdom and enlightenment, and the ancient wisdom and enlightenment as is preserved and is reaching us in the form of Bhagavad Gita. It points it out as that each individual is bound by the fruits of one's own karmas, karam bandhan. And then it is added, na bhi karm nashvasti. Karma's bond never goes in reverse flow. Once one has some karma, then its fruit is bound to be there. The karma is a lively phenomenon. This karma, as a seed, grows as a tree, and the fruit of the tree is to be eaten by the individual who has created such karma tree. Therefore, while we shall be appreciating the values of flow under the constitutional apparatus, then we have to be conscious as that this flow is never to be interpreted being in any way coming in conflict with the natural karma bandhan, where the reverse never happens. Means each karma as a karma tree seed will give a fruit which is to be eaten and to be accepted. This being so, we have to appreciate the values of flow of the Constitution parallel with the karma bandhan flow. Once one will be conscious as to how the values flow of the Constitution is to be appreciated, then the fruit of the karma will be sweet. It is this acceptance, it is this first principle which is to be accepted as the virtue. The virtue of our existence phenomenon is that we shall accept it as that our karmas bind us and we have to eat the fruit of our own karma tree. In this light, now, if we have a further introspection, then it will come to front that greed and negative thought are two values which should always be kept in mind while having interaction of the I with he. Whenever one is to come in interaction with other, then one should ever remain conscious as that greed and negative thoughts can make the relationship of the values of the degrees of greed and negative thoughts in the two persons interacting with each other. The ancient wisdom is that friendship, compassion, and bliss are sequentially organized. Maitri, Karuna, and Mudita. If one exists parallel with these principles of friendship, confession, and mudita, bliss, only then one shall expect that one's karmas will take them from mundane to the transcendental. It is in this light that we as an advocates shall take it as scintilled principle as that defense is lively within the petition's pleadings. One is to glimpse it. Defense is lively within petition pleadings. Only thing is that one is to glimpse it. One who has the glimpsing capacity, glimpsing power. And it is this glimpsing of a defense as a lively phenomenon within the pleadings of the petitions, which will make one to be a better counsel than the other. Now, this virtue of glimpsing defense as a lively phenomenon within the pleadings of the petitions will take us to the basis of this virtue. The basis of this virtue is to be imbibed. One shall remain face to face with this basis. And here the 2 pointers are: number 1, jigyasu api yogasya shabd brahmati vartati. And Ayurved, जिस वृक्ष के फल से जो व्याधि हो उसका उपचार उस वृक्ष के मूल, फल और पत्तों में ही है. Brahm, the eternity, is lively within the Shabd, the words. So when one is to glimpse the defense as a lively phenomenon within the pleadings of the petition, then one is to approach the meanings of the words in a yogic way. Therefore, the defense, which is already lively within the pleadings of the petition, and if one is not in a position to glimpse the same, then certainly one will not be in a position to meet the petition. This is an art. This is a science. This is a proficiency. How to interpret the pleadings, how to glimpse the limitations of the petition of the pleadings is an art, is a science, and it is this art and science which is to be perfected by us. And also we have to be conscious as that the Karambandhan as well as the nature organizing its creations or the features which are to be accepted and are to be followed. This way, one is to approach any petition and any document. The Constitution of India is our collective wisdom document. As it is a collective wisdom document, as such, the infirmities of the individuals are not to be imagined here. We have to approach this document as being free from individuals' infirmities. This is a document of collective wisdom. So we have to approach this document as we, and we have to reach from we this collective wisdom reservoir to our needs as an individual. This reservoir is of wide potentialities, and it is potent enough to nourish the life of each and every citizen. Therefore, we have to approach it with satisfaction and with a positive thought. Once we will be approaching Constitution of India with the positive thought, then certainly we will be in a more blissful state. One is never to approach the Constitution of India with a negative thought. If we will be approaching the Constitution of India with a positive thought, then certainly the collective wisdom lively here in each and every clause will be providing us desired satisfaction. And it is in terms thereof, this bliss, that we can always hope that there is a forum to have a justice. The justice at one phase or other is not to be taken as a complete in itself, as there are different phases of the justice delivery system. We have to approach the Constitution of India with a positive thought, and we shall always remain blissful by glimpsing its values. There is a very large set of values which are making this Constitution. Therefore, the reading of this document shall be with a positive approach, and bliss is certainly awaiting for everybody whosoever comes and glimpses this reservoir of values which has a virtuous base. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.